Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another portfolio update. In this video, we're going to go over the holdings, the monthly dividends, and the income from some of these passive income covered call ETFs. Before I jump into things here, guys, I just wanted to take a look at the market. Something I've been noticing a lot of days, things seem to be finishing the day kind of flat. You can see here everything's been a bit flat. And I've noticed there's been a lot of days lately where that's the end of the day, things are a little bit flat, right? That's not terrible for this income strategy because you're getting paid those dividends every month. You can just buy back into these funds and grow your income, grow your wealth, grow your net worth, right? So as far as the covered call strategy goes, it's not a terrible thing. And jumping into the portfolio, guys, I benchmark it against the S&P 500 year to date as of today. It's just ahead of the S&P 500. So we've got an overall yield of about 14.3%, and my yield on cost is just over 15%. And that's because a bunch of these funds have had just some natural dividend growth, and even higher yield funds like HHIS, where the dividends were starting at 25 cents and they've gone up to 26 and 27 cents. I mean, it's such a nice boost for a portfolio like this, right? The month of December was really good. $6,900 came in. HHIS being my biggest payer, USCL um, being second, and HYLD then HDIV. But my plan actually is I'm slowly scaling my HYLD and HDIV, and I'm buying into HHIS as well. My USCL position, I am reinvesting some back into it, but I'm not. I've been kind of directing a lot more capital towards some other funds lately, and I'll show you guys what I mean. These were some of my buys for December, right? So you guys can see here, dividends came in December. Everything was paid out, and then I did buy HHIS, did buy CDAY, I did buy back in HYLD, and then again bunch more HHIS being bought, CDAY being bought. When I get paid from funds like this, like Canoe EIT, when they pay me out, I don't put it back into Canoe EIT at this point. I'll take that 425 and I'll buy something like HHIS, or maybe a mix of HHIS and CDAY in this case, right? But um, Canoe EIT is a great fund. It's a closed-end fund. It's one of my better investments, a total profit of over 20%, and a capital gain of like 16%, right? But you guys can see the dividend yield is like 7.5%. My yield on cost is about 9. So I'll take those dividends and I'll put them into something like HHIS or maybe even CDAY or something else. Just to bring that yield up because Canoe EIT is such a lower yielding fund in comparison to everything else that I have, right? And then also for the new year, which is coming up in just a couple of days here, I do plan on swapping out of some funds. I had a big spreadsheet going with plans to sell off Canoe EIT. At this point, I don't think I need to, so I don't think that I will. It's just such a stable anchor for a portfolio like this. When there's volatility in the market, this fund can really be a good anchor to hold your value up, to keep those consistent dividends going, and it just doesn't fluctuate as much as some of these other ETFs do. So I don't think I'm ready to sell Canoe EIT at this time. My plan is to swap out of HTAE for something like QDAY or maybe a mix of QDAY and HHIS. I do want to swap out of GDV. I don't feel that I need to be in a split fund at this point. In GDV, again, it's a great profit for me, 27% with almost $4,000 in capital gains from GDV. But, I could put that into something like CDAY, still have blue chip dividends, paid twice a month with a higher yield, right? So that's my plan. I don't feel that Canoe EIT has to get sold quite yet. And honestly, guys, the longer I'm holding it, the more capital gain it's giving me too. So maybe I'll get a bigger capital gain, sell it off, and if I ever did, it would probably go into like a mix of HDIV and HYLD because I wouldn't put it into anything more concentrated than that. It's such a great fund. But back to the portfolio, guys. December's been paid out, and for January, we are across that $7,000 threshold. With those swaps that I'm considering, the next couple months will be probably closer to the $7,500 mark. We'll see which funds I decide to direct them into. But again, guys, HHIS coming in with a huge yield boost. That's $2,100 from roughly $100,000 investment in HHIS. It's been such a great performer, but all of the funds have been steady. They've been very stable dividends so far. I'm really hoping that 2026 is a great year for the covered call strategy and these income producing funds. I am planning to start pulling a little bit of capital out of these dividends to spend, just because I'm no longer working full time. And this is basically supplementing my income and any future travel plans or bills that have to be paid, right? Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for the portfolio. It's sort of been business as usual. Within the next few days, things will take quite a bit of a change as I looking to plan some swaps, specifically starting with HTAE. There's $7,000 in TFSA contribution room as well. So with this sale, I think my position here, yeah. So if I were to sell my HTAE alone, it's a $34,000 position. 7,000 of that is going into the TFSA and my tax-free account. I hold the bulk of HHIS in my tax-free account, so I try to shelter the higher yielding funds in a tax-free account. To me, it just makes sense because it's all taxable income at, even though it's a, tax efficient, and maybe your taxes from this income might be very low or nothing at all. Why not have it sheltered, especially if it's a higher yield, right? So I'll probably take at least 7,000 of that into HHIS, and that will go into the tax-free account. My thoughts with that is kind of HHIS is a concentrated, kind of tech-heavy harvest ETF, and I'm getting out of this other harvest ETF, and I might as well keep it going with harvest. I've been very happy with how they've been doing. So those are some sales that I'm going to be probably closing out in the new year, guys. I'll keep everybody updated with the swaps. I'll make a full video with the swaps on what I decide to swap into. But overall, guys, this portfolio that you see here is paying out about $7,100 a month. One of the reasons I love to make these videos is that, my portfolio value is a little bit under 600,000. And you see so many mainstream news articles saying, the average Canadian needs $5 million to retire or whatever it might be. Guys, I'm in my mid 30s and I had $100,000 per year job that I went to. And after taxes and, all the deductions, I wasn't even making close to this. I was making from $100,000 salary, somewhere in the high 60s usually would be take home, right? This income, you know, is very tax efficient. A lot of it is totally tax free because it's tax sheltered. And as you guys can see here, this is not a multi-million-dollar portfolio, and it also is bringing me in a higher monthly income than what my salary did. So I think depending on your situation, it's just good, education and free resources to check out portfolios like this that people are building and see what they can do. My plan with this is to pay for some expenses and travels and life things and still be able to reinvest and grow my wealth. And we're going to see how that plays out. But so far, it's been very, very good. So anyways, guys, leave me a like, leave me a comment. I do plan on making another video shortly with all the swaps that we go into. I hope everybody out there has a happy new year. Stay safe out there. I'll see you guys in the next video.